So be honest. Have you ever had an idea that you're like, oh, well, it could be a feature, or maybe it's a TV show, or maybe it's a limited series, or maybe. You don't know what medium your story lives in yet, you aren't ready to write. Today, we're going to talk about how to tell if your idea is a TV show or a feature film. I've seen so many writers come through my classes that try to cram 120-page features into a television pilot and stretch a television pilot into a movie because they suddenly change what medium it's supposed to be in, which is fine, but understanding the conventions of each medium is going to make that process a lot easier, and it's obviously better to figure out the medium before you start. I know I've made the mistake of jumping into a television pilot and writing the whole thing before I realized that the story had nowhere to go after episode 1. Don't be like younger me. We're going to help you avoid my mistakes. If you try to force a feature into a TV show, then you'll run out of story by episode 3. If you try to force a TV show into a feature film, then you'll have 47 subplots and 0 focus. Getting the format right saves you months of rewrites. So how do we tell the difference? Films are usually about one event or core journey that really upends your character's life. There's usually a strong conclusion at the end, wrapping things up with a bow. One key journey transforms your protagonists, and the stakes are usually resolved at the end. TV shows are about ongoing situations because they last, usually, for a pretty long time. They should have story engines that generate renewable conflict so that there's conflict in every single episode from the very beginning of your pilot all the way to the series finale. Rather than one key event or key journey, there is an overall journey with kind of micro conflicts along the way that are changing your protagonist incrementally over time. Keyword incremental. TV shows are also open loops. So even if we have a beginning, middle, end within the pilot episode, there are usually threads that are left open that can continue the conflict throughout multiple seasons. Or in a procedural format, we close the loop for the day, but we know that there's a different conflict coming at us tomorrow. And in TV, the stakes usually evolve but not fully resolve because the conflict isn't fully complete. In television, we're always thinking in the macro and the micro at the same time. So while there might be a beginning, middle, end with resolved stakes by the end of your pilot episode, there is going to be something luring in the background that's going to keep us going for many episodes or seasons. Those loops stay open and unresolved stakes keep us invested. So the key things to ask yourself are, does my story have a clear endpoint that resolves the main conflict? Or is this an ongoing situation that can generate new stories week after week? In both situations, your character still needs to have a core drive and journey. That's in both mediums, but it's more about how those things are presented and how long it'll take your character to achieve that goal. In a movie, they'll succeed or fail within a few hours. In a television show, it could take years. So for example, take Finding Nemo. It has one goal: find Nemo and bring him home. Clear endpoint: by the end of the movie, Marlin will have either found Nemo or he's lost forever. The events of the journey to find him change both Marlin and Nemo, and the dramatic question, or all of those open story loops, are resolved by the end of the film. Now, on the other hand, take The Bear. It's an ongoing situation of trying to save, run, and then start a new restaurant. All uphill battles, which will generate conflicts every single episode, giving us our conflict engine. And due to the open-ended nature of the challenges that the characters are facing, there's no clear endpoint to resolve the series until the creators decide to end it. So it's a concept that has legs or can sustain multiple seasons of television. So just a quick note on story engines. I think of story engines as kind of like a conflict generator, right? It's the thing that generates conflict week after week within the premise of the series, kind of the designing principle of your show. This can be case of the week, challenge of the week, shenanigan of the week, or problem of the week, mystery of the week, or more character-driven lesson of the week. So basically, we need to understand the kind of the designing principle or framework for your series, because that'll help us understand if we can actually sustain multiple seasons of television or not. My last note is for those of you doing limited series or something that kind of lives in the middle. I always say that your engine just needs to be as strong as your series runs long, which there's probably a better way to say that. But my point is, limited series still have an engine. It's just not something that's designed to run for 50 years, right? But they still have one. So you can think about if your series needs to run as long as like Haunting of Hill House or True Detective, or if it's Grey's Anatomy and it'll be on forever. That's up to you. So for those of you in the SBA community, you can access the workbook in the files and start figuring all of this stuff out and run through the questions that I provide for all of the ideas that are currently in your head to help you narrow down which ones are most clear. And everybody just drop a comment below to let me know if the idea you're deciding to work on is team film or team television, and we will dig deeper into that idea in the next video tomorrow.